In this video, I'll be turning this and this into this. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video series, I'll be sharing with you how I built my DIY aquarium, the materials and tools I used, and where I got them from. I'll leave the links in the description below. Here I always wanted to fill this space with an aquarium. Decided to attempt this DIY project and share the process. Hope you find this useful for your own project. First off, the base cabinet is prefabricated from Taobao. I'll leave the link in the description. They have popular sizes to choose from, but also offer custom sizes. So I did an online chat with the seller, and the custom size I requested for was 170 cm length by 60 cm width by 90 cm height. The total cost of the cabinet was about $280. Then I used a forwarder to ship to Singapore. Cost of shipment was about $150. So all in all, under $450 Sing for a steel cabinet is a good price. The locking mechanism is a clever design. At the turn of the dial, it interlocks the teeth into the grooves. I'll show a closer shot later in the video. Here's a closer look at the locking mechanism. The material of the cabinet is steel, and the boards are sheet metal, so everything is waterproof. This makes for an overall heavier base as compared to wooden ones, but it's stronger. More importantly, wooden fibers tend to fray over time due to moisture from the climate or drippage from the tank. The acrylic sheets I got from Dharma Trading Private Limited. These are all 15mm thick cast acrylic sheets. They offer machine cuts or saw cuts for a nominal fee. I also had them laser cut the top piece of my tank. Here I'm marking out a 4 cm broad line from the edge along the perimeter. Then peeling back to the line. And finally cutting it off. Rinse and repeat for all the sheets and sides. I use sandpaper to prepare the edges for gluing. I bought 4 different grits of sandpaper: 100, 200, 400 and 800. 100 being the roughest and 800 being the finest. They have much finer grits, but I'm not looking to polish the surfaces, just making it flat enough to glue. I recommend getting the Sandpaper Holder. Really useful piece of equipment and relatively inexpensive. It makes for a flat angle when sanding the surfaces. Also suggests to wear a mask if you are using this method of prepping the surfaces, as sanding makes the particles fly everywhere. A better alternative is to use an acrylic scraper to remove the saw marks, much less messy. Here I clamped down too tightly before the gluing. The acrylic cement could not permeate through the joint. Suggest to tighten the clamp down after applying the cement or search the pin method, using a tri-square to ensure all right angles. Pouring the cement into the needle applicator bottle. Get a proper size funnel or make a mess here just like I did. Don't fill the bottle more than halfway. First, squeeze a little air out of the bottle before inverting. This will ensure the cement doesn't drip out. Then proceed to apply the needle to the edge of the joint. The capillary action will draw the cement through the joints. Unfortunately, two things. My table was not flat and angled towards me. Plus, I tightened the clamp down too much before applying the cement. This resulted in a messy surface, bubbles, and hence not the strongest bond. I leave all my cement joints overnight to cure, just to be safe. Here I'm removing the clamps to check the strength of the joint. Surprisingly strong, even though there were bubbles in the seal. Unimpressed by my initial effort, I went back down to Dharma Trading to purchase Acrylic 192. This is a thicker version of the cement, and it gives you more work time before it cures. Plus it covers any imperfections. This is the method I use with Acrylic. Just squeeze along the edges before placing and clamping down. Here I decided to use Acrylic like silicone to apply along all the joints to ensure a watertight seal. The size of this tank is 170 cm length by 60 cm width and height, making the max volume around 570 litres of water when filled to the brim. Here I'm measuring the top braces for centeredness, then marking out the holes I need to drill for the top filter inlet and outlets. Clamping down the pieces to drill the holes. As the acrylic burrs that flies off from the drill bits are very hot, I suggest to wear protective clothing and safety goggles. Gluing the left brace, the right brace, and finally the center brace. Placing the top piece over the brace, I measure out the holes I need to drill. Here I'm measuring and drilling the holes for the lids. Kind of messed up here. Didn't let the drill cool down in between holes. Totally burnt out the power drill. Rest in peace, power drill. Only had a backup battery-powered hand drill to complete the rest of the holes. begin to smoke as well, so use power fans to cool it in between drills. Here I'm checking for hole alignments between the top piece and the brace. They are pretty aligned. Didn't have enough clamps for this last part of gluing, so use weights to weigh down the cement pieces. Worked out pretty well. Here's after removing the remaining protective paper. Using Novus 1 acrylic polish to remove the statics. Using Novus 2 to buff out some of the deeper scratches. Spraying on soapy water ahead of pasting background poster. Accidentally ripped a hole in the poster while removing the bubbles. Redo. Second attempt, making sure to spray on more soapy water this time, and gentler on the bubble removing process. Measuring and cutting the base foam. Another look at the locking mechanism. I had forgotten to put in the water pails before completing the cabinet, so had to remove the side to get them in. Here I am moving the tank from my bedroom to the hall using exercise mats. Lifting the tank onto the cabinet. If you are doing this project, suggest you get help from a friend for this part. Lifting an 80 kilogram acrylic tank alone can and probably is dangerous. Fitting the bottom trim. And finally, the top trim. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you found something useful for your own project. Up next, I'll take you through how I set up the lighting, plumbing and filtration. Alright, see you in the next video.